the Soda Pop Podcast. Today, we're here with... Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Clay.
I'm Owen.
And I'm Brandon Underwood.
And I'm Dottie Tanner.
And we're interviewing these two lovely people today about Cablefest, a hardcore music festival that... what days did it play?
August 2nd and 3rd.
August 2nd and 3rd, 2025. It was the first time we've had Cablefest here, and it was an awesome experience. I have the shirt. And, yeah, we're here today interviewing these two lovely people. I think a lot of our audience may be wondering, what is Cablefest? And also, before we get into that, if you hear any background noise, apparently there's band camp going on today.
Yes, band camp is happening this week. So
there's like a million nerds outside of our office right now.
They're part of the School of the Arts, Brandon.
One of those
say
nerds
that.
is one of the core four people who helped put Cablefest
So
together.
yeah,
Really?
Brandon.
Wow.
But
Corbin?
Corbin.
Okay, Corbin.
the dance line and the color guard are rehearsing in the lobby. So
And it's beautiful. I got to see some of the
beautiful.
trumpet players.
One of them
play
accidentally hit me in the face. It was really fun, but we're fine.
And on that note, what is Cablefest?
So, me and Owen started a little skit comedy channel, which is like classic
Right.
two film students kind of thing to do,
Right.
called cable television.
Mm-hmm.
And we plug cable television. Check us out on YouTube, whatever.
Cable TV?
Cable TV. And before that, me and Owen loved hardcore and we're in the hardcore scene, and a lot of the skits had a lot of like hardcore influence. One of the episodes was entirely themed around it.
Right.
And so we felt it was a good thing to do to maybe like be able to promote both cable television and also support the Florence scene and whatnot.
Right.
And so that's where the idea for Cablefest was born. To both be able to tie in, mine and his production company, and also be able to support the scene, kill two birds kind of thing.
Awesome. And you're actually in a band, aren't you?
I am in a band. I was in one of the bands that played, Plug Comedic. Find us out on our Instagram and, come to one of the shows. We don't have any music out just yet, but, if you come to our shows and inadvertently give us money, that will become more of a possibility. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, and even though Owen's not in a band, we're both very much into the scene and we'll have been to shows for years now.
Right. So we actually interviewed Owen and Jilly, one of the other people who are mainly responsible for this.
Shout out Jilly.
Shout out Jilly. I guess, what were you trying to say or do? Like, what was the aesthetic or like the overall mood you were going for with Cablefest? I guess with cable TV as well. What were you wanting people to get out of this experience?
Well, I'd say like our main aesthetic, obviously it's called cable television for a reason. The sketch comedy channel is kind of based around like changing channels and like that kind of thing, like old watching TV, and you flip to just a different comedy sketch. And so we wanted Cablefest to be a similar theme, obviously because it's from the same thing. So a lot of the posters have like the TV color bars and like TV static, and like the shirt is like, it looks like it's got some distortion, and it's got a lot of grain and
oh my gosh, I just
noise.
hit the heck out of my mic trying to show this awesome shirt off. For all of our audio listeners at home, you're missing out on the shirt, and you do actually have extra shirts, correct?
We do have extra shirts.
Just hit us up on the Cablefest Instagram.
If you want a hardcore shirt,
Right.
Yep.
hit them up. Hit them up on Cablefest Instagram. Get you a shirt.
I felt that aesthetic worked really well with the hardcore aesthetic, mainly because of like local access TV, and like the history of like putting on weird bands, which, I mean, not that hardcore is weird or anything like that, but it's not like the most popular genre, and it hasn't been for the last couple of decades. So the same way that local access TV had a lot of do-it-yourself ethos and whatnot, and a lot of, we had no budget, but we're still making it work kind of ethos.
Yeah.
Hardcore has that too. And so I felt like, especially when we were trying to figure out how to combine cable television with hardcore, that aesthetic came out specifically.
Yeah. And tell us about some of the bands. I know I asked specifically, Jilly was really excited about Brat and some of the other bands. Were there any bands I mean, I went to Cablefest. Real talk. I did go to Cablefest. It was an awesome experience. I actually helped Owen film a lot of the performers and stuff like that. And so there were some bands that I was like, this is amazing. But I think all of them brought a really great energy, even though I'm not the most like knowledgeable on hardcore. Dottie is actually hardcore though.
Am I?
Dottie is hardcore.
When did that happen?
Oh yeah.
I've seen Dottie at shows. You know, she's headbanging, she's swinging her arms in the pit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Dottie's. Sure. I've heard her say she's only done the hardcore voice once around me, and it's open up the pit.
Yeah.
Like really briefly.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
She's afraid to show her true self.
It's true.
sure.
It's too powerful.
It's okay.
But we were talking before the podcast. How does one even do the hardcore voice? How does you're in a band, Clay? You're a musician, right?
So, yes, I had my expertise taught to me by the vocalist of local Huntsville band Property.
Who played at Cablefest, right?
Who did play Cablefest. They had a killer set. And the vocalist, Shane, I was working at a burrito joint, Bandito Burrito, shout out in Huntsville.
Shout out Bandito
They
Burrito.
also sponsored Cablefest,
They did,
by the way.
yes.
Wow.
Great
Bandito
people
Burrito.
over there. Really pivotal in the hardcore and punk scene over in Huntsville too. And he gave me that, find out whatever your 100% is, and then do 60% of that, and then you just do that for the entire show. And that's usually what I do. It's not the cleanest technique, but I always feel like hardcore is not always meant to be very clean all the time.
Right.
Sure.
So, and then depending on that, it's just what kind of tonality you want, and are you Ian Mackay like screaming real high pitched, just all loose, or are you like more like beat down bands where you're channeling your inner Patrick Starr while you're doing it too. Right. So past that, it's just really it's about the energy and emotion. There's different techniques that require more than that, but for a lot of bands that I see and on my personal band, it's really just about kind of getting in your head and then being able to translate that through your voice.
Yeah.
It's more of a mental thing.
You got any questions?
I do. So obviously you said that your band was a part of Cablefest. How did you guys go about getting other bands to be interested in performing?
Emails.
All emails?
That is
Instagram DMs.
Instagram DMs. It is really just contacting. Cablefest started with no budget, so a lot of it came from a lot of trust from the bands. About being able to be like, we don't know exactly what we'll get paid, but we're willing to help out in this, and all the bands have been paid. I would like to put that out there. But it's them putting a little bit of trust in us, and then also them just responding to their Instagram DMs and being like, sure, I'll take a chance on these guys for the hardcore scene and all that. And from what I understand, that's how a lot of booking in hardcore goes. There's the only band with an agent was Brat, and we just emailed their agent. Every other band, we were just talking directly to the band members.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's no big secret, or you can do this too. It's not some big industry secret about how to book bands. It's really just talking.
Yeah.
For sure. Had you guys seen like all of the bands that you asked to be there? Had you seen at least most of them perform, or were you just kind of?
Yeah.
If we had not seen them personally, we have known people who have.
Okay,
Gotcha.
Yeah, some of the bands, me and Clay just went to shows and asked them after they played. Yeah, it was super fun. We went to Birmingham and shot 2 shows in a row and asked every one of the bands to play Cablefest, and almost all of them came.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's bands that we couldn't have because they're out of towners, like Sunmancer and like Hole Opener and like Brat. And that's where they have music on their platform, and we're like, these guys rock. And that's enough of it.
Wow.
Cool.
It's pretty cool. I think a lot of our viewers, all 7 of them, may not be very acquainted.
17. It was 17.
It was 17. We've gone down 10. I think a lot of our viewers may not be acquainted with hardcore music, or like I have friends who like I think would love to go to shows maybe, but don't know anything about it, or just haven't been in the environment or whatever. And so it seems a little intimidating from the outside, because I think people are just, I don't know how to do the moves. I don't know how to do this. I don't know. But like, I think I saw a documentary in the George Lindsay Film Festival. Shout out George Lindsay Film Festival.
Shout out.
And it was talking about the scene in Birmingham, the scene in Huntsville and stuff like that. And it's surprising how understanding and like respectful and like I guess beautiful the scene is in the way of like they accept pretty much everyone.
A lot of people like will in this or a lot of posers.
Will
try
Let's
to
get
tell
into
you that that hardcore is not for everyone and that it's only for people who are messed up in the head and like this crazy
evil and twisted.
Yeah, like but
Like
hardcore
me.
is for everyone and all this music, all music is for everyone.
Yeah.
And most of the stuff in the pit is just dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Like and even if you can't do that, like there's a crowd around it. Like I think everyone should at least try to come to a show, try to see how they feel about it.
Right.
There's a whole culture around the music, and the music itself is wonderful, and there's so many different kinds, and like the more you listen to it, the more you kind of understand everything, and it's really awesome.
I think an addendum to that is people go to these shows and they're like, man, this is intense. And they're right. You know, like that is a correct thing, but I think sometimes what they're missing is what it's intense about. It's not I want to like hurt everybody or like this and that. But I mean, this music does like make the people who listen to it have a very like intense emotion, whether it be like camaraderie with the people in the scene or anger about like different things about when you go home from the show and like the life outside of that, whether it be like the political landscape or like even the personal home lives and all that. And so there is an amount of, like, it is intense. But I mean, it's not intense anger. It's intense emotion in general. It's just very high emotion in general. And that's why you get like the crazier like dancing and things like that. And you know, a big part of that is just going to a show and letting yourself feel that, and also understand that everyone else is feeling that. And so, you know, if you're in the pit and you get hurt or something like that, understand that they're having that same overwhelming emotion that you are, and this and that. And so there's an amount of understanding with that. And like I said, with like that, there is an amount of anger and things like that, and this is like a healthy way to express all that. And I feel like hardcore does a really good job of trying to, or at least it should have a good focus for that anger, whether like making sure that hardcore spaces are for everyone, making sure that there aren't like intolerant people there. There is an amount of intolerance for intolerance.
As Jilly said, beating people up.
Yeah.
Beating people up. That's what Jilly talked about.
Yeah, there is an amount of intensity there to make sure that our spaces are for everyone.
Right.
But I don't think that, I think those all fall in line together.
Yeah.
Rather than are two opposing forces.
Right.
I think it's all pretty congruent.
And to add on to that, I will say it is very, like, it does feel like an outpour of emotion, you know, because like I was like in the basement at one point, right? You know, minding my business. I'm there all day. Owen's got me stuck there all day. He's like, "Where are you at? What are you doing with the cameras?" Yeah, exactly. And I was in the basement. I was just like, you know, scrolling on my phone or whatever. And then I hear one of the bands start to play California Uber Atlas. And I ran up the steps and got in there and sang and, you know, danced and did all that fun stuff. And there were other times, it was a real outpour of emotion. One of the bands sampled Religious Man, but like, I forget the band who plays it, but it's off of like Nacho Libre. And whenever that came on, man, watch out.
You just want to move. Yeah.
Exactly. You just want to move. And it was, and then they like switched it up and the beat went down, you know, metaphorical beat. The riff went down and it was beautiful. It was a beautiful experience. Very emotional. Do you have anything to
I don't have anything to add to that.
add to that?
I'm so sorry.
Come on, Dottie.
I'm sorry.
Tell us about your time in the pit.
Oh, I've been in a pit one time and I'm not tall enough to be in a pit. I almost got crushed. It was very scary.
Whoa.
I was not a fan.
Wrong show. That wasn't Cablefest. At Cablefest, we don't crush people.
It's true.
It's true. So, how do you guys feel about posers?
I think people who care about posers a lot tend to be posers.
Right.
I think, well, I mean, in the way that, I mean, posers definitely exist. There are people who go in there and, you know, look for, like, attention and all that. But I think it's important to kind of keep in mind why they're doing it. So, like, it's not wrong to want to, like, I'm just being a poser in the way that I'm dressing up like all of this,
Yeah.
and then I'm going to all these shows to hang around people that I want to hang out with and have a good time. It's like where's the how's that any different?
Yeah.
So I think there is a big part of that where people just kind of, oh, I don't like you, you're a poser. And I'm like,
Right.
well, then that's not really the point. I will say that what people should be more concerned about, and I think often what people mean when they say poser is just people who bring like harmful ideologies into the scene,
Right.
and things like that,
Yeah.
and who really don't get what we're trying to do, or,
Right.
or things like that. And even to those people, it's not like, oh, we hate those guys. It's just
Yeah.
like, well, if they keep on being around it, keep on going to the shows, maybe they'll get the ideas.
Yeah,
and if there's a problem, there's a problem. But it's not really the same idea of like, if you don't dress this way, or if you don't listen to these bands, you're a poser. It's not really about that. And people
Right.
who say that, I think they're missing the point.
Right.
I think there is an amount of, especially when you start going into like creating the music, there is an amount of, you should respect the history of the genre and
Absolutely.
pay homage there. But that's a different thing. That's not really,
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to study to go to show beforehand. That's not really,
have fun.
Yeah, that's not the same thing.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. So this is obviously the first year of Cablefest, and you guys see this going somewhere in the future. I'm imagining. Like,
Yes.
so what's the future look like? What do you think is next year?
of Cablefest.
Future of
Well-
Cablefest.
I think it'll be a much tighter run event. I think there will be more opportunities to do different activities and eat food and keep people there that like aren't they don't just have to loiter when they're
Yeah.
not at the shows, when they're
Yeah.
resting between the 30 bands.
Sure.
Right.
I think that we'll have a lot more like kind of multifaceted stuff and
Right.
stuff to do, and but I think we'll also just have less bands and try to keep it to where everyone's happy and going home at a time that they're happy with instead of
Yeah.
super late. And I think for our first time doing this, we achieved a lot. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very happy and grateful and proud of all the work that we've done. But I think we've also learned a lot, and I think that next year will be even better.
Yeah. I had work the next morning after.
Whoa.
So
Yeah.
Got to take off the next day.
if anything, what's next year look like? It's Clay taking off work.
Absolutely.
That's fair.
No, it did run late, and I think it was impressive though how many people like stayed the entire time. There was a lot of people who were there the whole day, going to every band in the pit every single time, or at least trying to be. And so that was really impressive to see. What I guess in the how do you feel, because this is, before school started, before people are back in the dorms and in things of that nature. What like what like, I guess, this question has escaped me. This question has escaped me.
Some deeply profound
It just
stuff.
ran away. No, okay, I got it now. What did you want anyone to take away from Cablefest? Since it's happening before school, all this kind of stuff. Like, people are going to be seeing this after it's already happened, and I mean, there's going to be one next year. But like, what do you want? How do you feel? I guess, how do you feel, and what did you want people to take away from the Cablefest experience?
You could do it too. This is a bunch of 19-year-old and 20-year-olds
Yeah.
putting this festival together. So even if you didn't go to Cablefest, know that a bunch of people that are like you, or if not younger than you, and don't have as many resources as you, was able to put together 30 bands.
Yeah.
So you can do the same thing. And also, I think people don't realize that there is a scene in Florence because it is a smaller city.
sure.
Right.
But we have many like great bands that are here, and you should go out and see a show. There's a local venue called The Shed that
Yeah.
has shows every month, multiple times a month, that you should go. It's like $10 to see 4 bands, and you're helping them out. So go out and see those bands and all that, because a lot of people don't know that this is here when
Yeah.
it is. We have great bands who even like were headlining the festival, like Rail Splitter and You Will Burn,
Yeah.
and my band and things like that. And so a big thing is like, just a lot of people don't know this is here. And it's also the influx of that, where the hardcore people didn't know this is here. I don't know how many times I was like heard, I didn't know this place existed
Yeah.
from like the hardcore people.
They
and
were
it's
really
just, like,
surprised. I heard a lot of people were really surprised about like the venue. I think especially no one had been in that nice of a venue.
Well, I think it's that. And I think
before.
people just kind of get in their mind. They create these boundaries of
Right.
what things are and aren't, whether it be on the hardcore side where you're like, I can only play in basements and bathrooms that are sticker bombed and
Yeah.
putrid and things like that. Like like those are the only places I can play. And then there's the other side of that where the people are Norton haven't really mixed a hardcore band. No one's put the crowd and the audience on
Yeah.
stage with the bands too. And so it's just kind of thinking outside the box and within your resources and trying to take your resources to the max that they can be.
I think to add on to that as well, like what I want, I said this when we recorded it with Jilly, but what I wanted people to take away from Cablefest the most was to almost feel like taken care of, like the bands and
Yeah.
the audience and the volunteers and just everyone in general. Like the bands get this awesome light show and they
The light show was awesome. It was pretty cool.
lots
Sometimes
of strobe.
the riff would drop right as the lights would or whatever, and they'd be flashing or something like that. And it's,
And those moments, like they become that much more memorable when you're getting all this like sensory stuff, and the bands get to be mixed really well. Like our sound guy was incredible. Thank you to Ethan Franks,
Shout out
senior
Ethan Franks.
tech
Shout out
director
Ethan.
of Norton Auditorium, who let us put this festival on. But I think like we had a little crafts booth up front, and they got to get little bracelets or little
Brandon's
bracelet
showing
cleaner
his off.
shout out
pictures.
bracelet Clay's. Oh, and Owen. We've all got bracelets.
They get to get all
Well,
of these for free.
Almost all of us.
This is awkward.
It's awkward. All right, continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's but yeah, I want people to come to our events and feel taken care of and feel like it's not only a safe environment but a comfortable environment,
Right.
And a place that they'd want to come back and that not only like it was worth the money, but like I'd pay to come here kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like,
It was we the big thing was trying to figure out how to take care of the fans and also take care of the bands and do both, which was like an important thing when it came to like ticket pricing and how long the sets were and things like that. But that was probably our main focus, which is like how to be the most fair to everybody. Because it's like, yeah, when shows are usually $10 or $15, it's a little bit more of a hard sell to buy like a $60 ticket. But at the same time, we want to take care of every band that was on the bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was our main thing. And I think that's what that's part of hardcore too, is you know, trying to keep things as accessible and welcoming to everybody.
Yeah. Nope. Oh, fresh out of questions.
I felt like you were about to ask something.
Oh no, I was just gonna say Owen talked about it in the first interview. Owen said something about I think it was like 40 or 50 tickets sold would help y'all break even basically, or something around that line. Did y'all break even? Was it profitable? Was the first Cablefest profitable?
It depends on what your definition is.
Yeah.
None of the organizers made any money.
Right.
We all walked away. I mean, it was just all volunteer stuff. But,
Right.
And so when we say broke even, we mean more so everything else after that was all going to the bands.
Yeah.
So it was a big relief that when we woke up the day of, we realized that all of our pre-sales had made us break even.
Yeah.
So every single ticket that we knew was coming through the door was able to go to the bands.
Awesome.
And that was more so we thought maybe if we made a whole lot of money, we might, you know, cut ourselves a check, but at the end of the day we just felt it was better to give that to the bands, because they're not coming here to see us, you know.
Right.
And the music is the important part.
Right.
Everybody.
I'm looking at Dottie. Dottie, throw those questions in there.
Let me throw. I'm gonna throw a question.
Throw those
in there.
questions in there.
Okay, so you said that it was a lot of like volunteer based situations. So I know that like Owen, your dad was doing some stuff for you guys. Like there was a lot of stuff happening.
Shout out Mr. Couch.
Shout out Mr. Couch.
Shout out Mr. Couch. Ethan Couch.
So whenever you guys were like organizing all of this, how big was your community of people that were willing to volunteer, and how did you go about asking them for that?
I mean, it was quite immense.
Yeah.
I could not be more grateful to all of our volunteers. We had so many just like friends and family, like Jilly, who is our third member of main organizers for
Right.
Cablefest. Her dad is Shane of Property, the lead vocalist who
Yeah.
played in the show, and her mom ran ticketing for us like both days.
Yeah.
And then my dad and stepmom worked the concessions booth, and we had lots of friends working the crafts and selling T-shirts, and I had Brandon
I was
help
filming.
out completely for free, volunteering for filming, and I had another friend working camcorder stuff, and yeah, it's all just friends and family, and then like we were able to contact Ethan because we both worked at Norton for a time, and so we were like, can we do this here? And he was very open and easy to work with about that, and
The
so
school,
lenient.
Sorry, the school organizations really helped out too.
Yeah.
We had Mesa from the entertainment department, AML, the music-based fraternity, gave volunteers, and a huge shout out to them.
Oh,
and
wow.
one of our fourth main organizer, Corbin, is a part of that fraternity.
Shout out Corbin.
Shout out Corbin, and as well as the technical theater fraternity all helped out with like making this a school sanctioned event and giving volunteers and stuff like that. And so I think there's a lot of people who are like, UNA isn't a good place for this stuff, and they're just wrong because
Yeah.
we had support from friends and family and the school itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, people just they don't ask. That's the big thing. There's a lot of opportunities here that people don't use.
I agree.
That's a good point.
I think a lot of our uncultured audience may not have any reference on hardcore music. So how does a band like yours, like Comedic, compare to like classier acts like the Beatles or something like that?
I would say
Jilly said that you were the John Lennon of Comedic, and Owen said that Comedic was better than the Beatles. And actually, Owen owes me a Comedic set because I was really wanting to see you guys. I was really wanting to see it. And then I was like, Owen's like, oh, you got an hour to eat. And then I went to go get something to eat. I came back, Comedic, thank you, good night. And I was like,
I would say within the scope of hardcore bands, not just Comedic.
Right.
I would say that it all comes from. I mean, you can trace a little music history time and whatnot. You know,
let's get into it.
the
Music history on the Soda Pop Podcast.
the Beatles. If we're tracing Beatles, the Beatles had some songs that were the formation of a lot of proto punk, like the Velvet
Right.
Underground and things like that. And that
Helter
scene
Skelter.
kind of turned into like the two scenes in New York and England with the Sex Pistols and the Ramones.
Right.
And from in the 70s, that all kind of came into a head with all their big mohawks and leather jackets and things like that.
And
where
blue hair.
hardcore
Ew.
hardcore came out of that, of like being like, okay, we still like that same ethos and trying to center back down on those roots of punk, where they felt that a lot of the quote unquote fashion punks were getting away from that and making
Yeah.
it more about you know, having fun and partying and wearing all these like cool clothes and stuff like that. And the
Yeah.
clothes are the clothes are cool, but the hardcore scene from the 80s
Right.
in multiple cities all centered it back to, no, this is the meaning of it, and this is the ethos,
Right.
and this is how we best, you know, represent that, whether it be bands like Minor Threat and Dead Kennedys and things like that. And you know, that is where the scene that we kind of claim, and that there's
Right.
you know, the musicality of it has changed a lot, where they'll add a bunch of elements from like death metal and things like that, which is
Yeah.
where like Comedic is, where we're kind of trying to, you know, mash subgenres and things like that. But all of hardcore comes from like trying to get the most pure form of what the punk ethos is,
Right.
and how to get that, and that's the kind of intensity that you see in hardcore that I was talking about earlier that you don't in other genres really.
Yeah.
And that's what separates us from the Beatles.
Okay.
We're more intense and tougher and harder.
You heard it here first. Comedic is just the cool Beatles.
Yep.
Yes.
Basically, the tough Beatles. Do you have anything to say about the Beatles?
being compared to John Lennon is rough, but that's
It is
okay.
rough.
That's
Yeah.
rough.
I'm really jealous
Yeah.
of Corbin, who is Ringo.
Ringo Comedic.
He's also Ringo Rail Splitter and Ringo You Will Burn.
Corbin's just in a lot of bands, a lot of local bands.
And also in Bandcamp right now.
Yes.
He's a
He's on the
musical
other side of
genius.
that.
Yeah.
He's on the other side. He's like knocking at the door, trying to get in the podcast room.
we won't let him in.
We won't let him in. That's amazing.
He's got work to do. He's got
Exactly.
Yeah.
drums to practice.
Got to get back to it. This is unrelated to hardcore music, but I was talking to Dottie about it, and I felt like I had to get it off my chest. Kind of related to hardcore music, I guess, if we're going from the Beatles. Ozzy Osbourne's passing. I know some of the bands did a tribute or like at least acknowledged it or something like that during the show. I heard people talking about it. And it just hit me the other day, like really hit me. Because I was like on my way. I think I was on my way here.
You were.
And I was listening to like If I Close My Eyes Forever by Lita Ford featuring Ozzy Osbourne. And I was just like, man, if I had never heard Paranoid or like any of that stuff in like 6th grade, I would never go to Cablefest. I would never want to go to Cablefest.
It is crazy how you can like originate an entire genre to one band.
Yeah,
Because that isn't a very that's not something that happens very often.
right.
There are people who say, "Oh, Helter Skelter,
First
started-
metal song.
first metal song." But at the end of the day, when you look at who truly made the genre, it's
Yeah,
easily Black Sabbath,
yeah,
and that's when metal becomes such a big part of your life, like it is
Yeah.
for a lot of people at Cablefest, and definitely a lot of the bands.
right.
That's when you realize it's like, man, I have all of this to thank to like 4 people.
Yeah,
That's crazy. Like my entire life.
yeah,
And I mean, even and then you can look at like Ozzy and be like, this is one of the more influential of those 4 people in terms of his solo career after, too.
right. Absolutely.
And then so you're like, man, like this one like person who's made my like entire, and I mean, no disrespect to the other members of the band, you know,
Yeah.
we love Iommi and things like that, but it's like, wow, this guy's my entire life,
Yeah.
or this band's my everything that surrounds me is based off of that, and that it's just it's kind of a overwhelming
Thought. Yeah.
thought that you don't really think until someone, you do think, but you don't feel it as overwhelmingly until someone passes.
Yeah. I was shedding tears in the car, full on. Like it was just like, you know, I think I heard a like interview with him, and he was describing like hearing the Beatles or Comedic for the first time as like basically, you know, waking up in black and white, or like going to sleep in black and white and then waking up and life was in color. And that's what going to Cablefest was like. It was a beautiful experience. Hearing all of the bands, it was an awesome experience. Hearing Ozzy Osbourne was like that too. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the energy that was there at Cablefest was so amazing. And sucks you missed out on it, Dottie. Come on.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. But next
There's
year,
always next,
Next
year.
year.
Yeah.
next year, go to Cablefest next year.
2026.
Cablefest 26.
Cablefest 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Cablefest 2. Are there any plans for cable TV before then?
Oh yeah.
Yes, definitely. Earlier this year, before the summer, we finished out our first little quote unquote season of cable television, and we're about to come out with this blooper reel from that, and then edit a lot of the stuff from Cablefest, and then start recording and writing and stuff like that for season 2. We're trying to hit a lot of more higher quality notes, and I'm really excited.
That is exciting. Are you guys planning on releasing the footage of Cablefest, or is it more for like a personal archive type situation?
It will be released. I plan on doing each individual band set and
Gotcha.
posting it all on the cable television YouTube channel, and then I also plan on doing a Cablefest Day 1. It's like a compilation of like a song from each band and like little moments in between, and then Cablefest Day 2 obviously, and have those both on there. And
So if you didn't go, check out the YouTube channel.
yeah, check out the YouTube channel. This will all be coming soon, as fast as I can edit when I'm not working full time.
Until then, 2 YouTube channels have posted different angles of the festival.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of it is just camera audio, but if you want to get a feel for what it was, OG Kush Consumer on YouTube has put
Official
out...
name.
Official
You know,
name.
this festival is on a different level when you've got, what's his name?
OG Kush Consumer.
Check it out.
Shout her out. There's 30 bands that she's recorded
Wow.
for all that. And then Huntsville Variety Shows. They both have different angles of the bands.
Awesome.
And our angles will all be a lot more professionally done and a lot of different angles and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Just to set it apart from the holding a phone at the.
Right.
Well, I saw one guy was holding the DS the whole time.
That was OG Kush Consumer.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay.
awesome.
That was them. Okay.
Very
that.
cool. Very cool
Wow.
stuff.
Wow. That was beautiful. Beautiful.
Wonderful.
I just, above the crowd, there was all this moshing, and then all of a sudden I look up and see a 3DS.
At least it was a 3DS.
It was like,
It could have been worse.
it was like the star to Bethlehem. It was like, that way. Go that way.
Right.
And I followed the light.
And in a way, Corbin
And I
was Jesus.
followed the light.
In a way, Corbin was Jesus.
Like a babe on stage.
I've seen him walk on water.
That's true.
Really. We got to throw up a picture of Corbin. We've talked about it so much. Future
Yeah.
Brandon, throw up a picture. Whoosh. Future Corbin will just pop up on the screen.
Fun fact.
I'll
I don't
send,
thi- I
I'll
don't
send a
have a
few
picture.
options to Brandon.
We would also like to plug in Cablefest. In the meantime, before Cablefest 2 is planning a show for Corbin's birthday called
Kill Corbin.
Kill Corbin.
Kill Corbin.
Where
On-
he's playing drums
No.
in every band back to back.
Oh, wow.
And the plan is to murder Corbin.
That's so exciting.
So that'll be coming in December. Stay,
Wow.
Watch out
I
for
love that.
Stay tuned.
Wow. Kill Corbin.
Okay.
You were going to say?
No, that's.
You wanted Corbin to die,
I was
too.
I was gonna
That
say.
was your question.
I was gonna say. I want you guys to all be aware that every single time that Brandon goes cut to feature Brandon, he makes that sound effect. Every time.
It's a good one. I like
He
that
does
sound
it,
effect.
but
post
it's
that in it.
We,
Can you
we
throw up
have
a
a
different
we have a
image?
soundboard, but like, I prefer to do my own. I think it's way cooler. We want to get the Undertaker sound effect at some point.
Can you?
Right.
Can you? What is that?
Doom. It's
That
like
was good. I
like-
got the
it
reverb in
yeah,
there,
it's
that
like
was
it resonates through this.
and then you always have like the guys like turn around like because they're looking for him.
Can you do a Wilhelm?
I can't do that. I don't know if I.
Yeah.
You got the hardcore vocal. Let's.
What is that? How does
Well,
that do with Wilhelm?
well, it's a scream. It's a scream. Wow!
That's what I sound, that's what I
was
sound
good,
like
it was
on
good.
stage, guys.
I love that.
So if you want to hear the Wilhelm scream
On
for
stage.
Go
all
see Comedic
for
live.
12 hours,
Open this pit.
I want you to open it up. Yeah,
Wonderful.
that's beautiful. The Wilhelm scream
The Wilhelm scream.
is beautiful. Anything y'all want to plug? Anything you want to say to any artist out there who might want to do something like this, or just like, oh, I need to, I want to try something. Any advice to those people?
If you have an email address, you can do a lot.
Wow.
Like you just
Wonderful.
and not even just that, but like just talk to people.
Yeah.
It's a lot of that's what like it's a lot of the community. If you're very genuine about it, it'll work out. People will see that. You don't have to overthink it.
Right.
There's a lot of overthinking that we did in the first couple steps, and after we got into a flow of it, once we're on our 27th band, kind of thing,
Sure.
you kind of get the flow, and you're like, this is not as nearly, not to say it's easy, but it's easy in the way that if you're just genuine, it'll work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would like to plug all of our sponsors.
All of our sponsors, yes.
Thank you to Yellowhammer Brewing.
Thank you, Dad.
To Bandito Burrito, and thank you to Colt Hair here in Florence, Alabama.
Yes, please go
get your
check out Colt
haircut.
Hair.
Yeah.
They're like insanely cool people.
Very cool people. They were very
Love that.
kind to us, and they helped out a lot.
Wow.
And I think they're a part of the general. Florence is a lot cooler than you think.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely can be. And I appreciate you guys and everyone else who went to Cablefest for helping trying to make it that way.
Yes.
And yeah, so go check out Cable TV, Cablefest, any of the Instagrams, social media, any names.
That's just cable
That's-
television, Cable Fest.
Comedic.band.
Comedic.band. I'm Brandon Underwood, the Brandon U.
I'm Dottie Tanner. Dottie, period. Tanner.
Go check us out on social media as well to stay up to date with soda stuff. And hit them up about some cool shirts at Cablefest TV. But yeah, I think that's pretty much
That's
all
all.
for today. As always, keep making stuff.
And stay creative.
Or else.
Or else.
Okay,
Now we
now
got to
we're gonna-
walk off really cool. You got this is the music.